All right, shh, Johnny, baby! Shh. This is it. Don't tell anyone, but we didn't break a record. Do you want it now when you get so close?
We broke a record?
No, we didn't.
Oh, we didn't. No.
So if it's 9 below, the record is 11 below. Do we look at the face? Do we want
If you're going to get this close, you might as well just break it, right?
I don't know. Do you want to break a record even if it's a negative? Do you want to break a record of something bad?
You saw me this morning. I wanted my house to hit negative 15, and it did, and I was excited, even though it's horrible.
Yes. So
look at this.
There's a little bit of a flip-flop, if you notice here. Places that we normally think of as colder, Wellsboro, Binghamton, my house, which was 2 below, are a little bit warmer today.
Yes.
Because remember, when that air is calm and still, it's like John Mayer's salad dressing. The seeds fall to the bottom. So cold air falls to the bottom. So lower elevations are even a little colder today than higher elevations.
Yeah, Selinsgrove is almost always one of the warmer spots in our area.
And it's near the river, so the cold air just sank down like salad dressing seeds. So a lot of variation. You get the point. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about cold. These are the numbers. See, now this is interesting. The record low, was 9, and now we're at 8. So we're starting to get a little bit better, moment by moment. But that low pass.
Oh, my gosh.
John, make it go away.
Well,
make it go
away.
Make it go away. Average
is anyone?
What
Lewisburg, we got above.
So the sun's been up now, so things are getting better.
Yeah.
Woo! All right. On Mars in the summer, it gets warmer than this, if that helps you. So it's warmer on Mars in parts of the air.
Joe was in the backyard this morning. He had the books going through the pages, and he found this is the coldest this decade.
Coldest so far this decade. I didn't want to keep going back because I have to look through January, February, sometimes even March it gets this cold. So it takes a while to scrutinize all that data.
You were getting back pretty far.
Yeah, and it's cold. We had a lot of 3 belows, 4 belows, 5 belows, 6 belows in the last 4, 5, 6 years, but not 9.
Not 9.
And 10. So, all right, these are high temperatures today. You like that?
Ooh, better than negative 15.
Lows tonight closer to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
That's better.
So this is good news. The really cold air is done, but that's still cold.
What's normal low now?
A normal low is about 15.
15, okay.
15,
so
16.
This is actually around...
Yeah, I guess. Well, the high temperature today will be our normal low, but tonight, not that far from normal. All right, the winds, fairly light today, so you don't have to worry about the wind chill factor if you are outside, but who's outside in this? Let's think about professions where you have to be outside. My daughter does outdoor work for the state, and she just said the supervisor called them out. It's not safe to be outside. No one's to be outside in frigid air, right?
And I don't know, construction workers, are they out?
Construction workers, the garbage men.
They're out.
The garbage girls?
We still haven't gotten a photo of a garbage girl in the area. You know, yesterday I told you I was gonna go for a hike.
Yeah, you didn't.
I took a 2-hour nap.
Good move, I think. You know, I'm Mr. Outdoors, but
I am too, but I just couldn't do it.
Look what happens tomorrow. The wind shift to the southwest, so they're still going to be fairly light, but at least now we're bringing in warmer air. And here's some good news. Could you believe a half hour more daylight now than before Christmas?
This is so noticeable, and it's awesome.
Half hour.
Yeah.
So to make you appreciate a half hour,
I love when he comes up with these scenarios.
John is just going to fix his tie for a half hour. See, a half hour is a long time. 10 seconds and I'm bored to death. A half hour is a big deal, folks. More sun. And eventually that's going to warm things up. Nothing happening in Pennsylvania, but dun, 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 dun. So this is hard to believe. Pensacola is right here. They had 7 inches of snow.
7 inches. It's wild.
The most snow in the entire state of Florida, I think, was 3 inches up until today. I think the record snow in the state in recorded history was like 3 inches, and now we killed that record.
This whole Gulf Coast, they got hammered.
They don't even...
And you know, you probably can't even go to the hardware store and buy a shovel.
No, who's going to sell a shovel in
There'd be
Florida?
no reason for them to even have them in the store. Now, maybe they saw this forecast and had them shipped in.
My mother-in-law lives right here. Well, she has a place right here.
Yeah.
And it's 45 degrees there now in Cape Coral. So the snow
all the way up to Myrtle 45 degrees. 45
degrees.
That's the equivalent of us today, the way they feel.
Mother-in-law, come back. Come back. All right. So even the people who run from the cold and snow, look at, they can't run. There's nowhere farther south to go.
But you know what happens? No one has any sympathy for them.
I know. It's almost like, ha, 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 ha. Now you're one of us.
Yes.
We're like vampires. We want everyone to be like us, right?
Yep.
So blue skies today. That's the good news. 16 degrees, and it should stay dry through the weekend. Let's talk about toast, right? After we talk about these highs. So you were looking at Orlando, 48. It's going to be in the 40s. And well, that's not necessarily a high. I just have this stopped at 3 o'clock.
But at 3, that's about.
Yeah, it's only going to be in the 40s and 50s today there in much of Florida. So the entire nation is pretty cold. But notice it does get warmer here.
Yeah.
So instead of teens, highs in the 30s. What's happening, the jet stream has plunged all the way into the Gulf. That's that deep plunge. What's cool about it, there's a little impulse here. You can see it. That's riding south. Think of that as an 8-ball. Think of this as a pool game. So now we're in the cold. But when this thing sags south, it's going to lift the cold up. Watch. And now that cold gets jolted up. So that's why it's going to get a little warmer. And would you believe another storm is going to form on Friday with some rain and drizzle along the Gulf states, all because of that thing. And then once that leaves, now the float straightens out, John. You like that?
Yeah. I have a question.
Oh, good. Would you want me to go back?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going back.
The trough.
I'm going back. I'm going back.
So does this happen? I know the snow on the coast doesn't happen much, but does a trough go that far?
No, not usually.
That's really rare.
Yeah, see, I love these questions. And he might be saying, why this year? And the answer is no one knows. The jet stream is random and chaotic. So why did this time it plunge all the way to the Gulf? Look at that.
I have another question.
Oh, I love it. Here we go.
So when that is like this,
that deep.
You show the maps like this, and it's up near us, we get a storm on the coast.
Yeah.
Is this almost the same thing happening down there?
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Because it almost looks like our one of nor'easters riding up the coast.
So it's so cold now that what they're getting in the Carolinas is normally the boundary where we're at.
What we would call a nor'easter.
Yeah. And then people up here in Canada are laughing at us. They're cold, but at least they don't get snow. Here, it's really cold. We get the snow. Now, we're really cold, and they're getting the snow.
It's just pushed all of that.
Everything is just a little bit more anonymously south, and this is all that's happening. So why is this happening? It's just random and chaotic.
Yeah.
A lot of times, remember Mount Pinatubo erupted in somewhere in the late 80s, early 90s, 91, I think. I think that produced a cold winter, and the jet stream sagged deeper in the early 90s, and we had some cold snaps. So volcanic eruptions will do that, but this year I see no real reason why. If you remember the National Weather Service long-range forecast for December and January, above average temperatures.
Yeah.
Both months below average. They were totally wrong.
We've had a bit.
Totally wrong. Anyway, we're wasting too much time. High pressure builds in. That's toast. The cold air is toast, baby. Are you ready?
Get it.
Bill, kill it. And that's toast. It's out of here tomorrow. A little warmer. Maybe a front moves through on Thursday night with the flurry. That should be about it. Look, it's Friday. What are you doing Friday?
Pizza.
Saturday.
I don't know.
So he has no plans. It looks like a nice, quiet weekend, 20s to near 30. Even on Sunday, nothing more than a flurry. So there are no storms in sight, John. In sight at all.
At least there's that.
All the way through even next week. No storms in sight. These are temperatures tomorrow. You like that?
Balmy.
That's almost outdoor living for me. I think I'm going to go for a bike ride tomorrow.
I'm going to do something outside tomorrow.
And then Friday, same thing. But look at the weekend. Could hit 30 in parts of the area on Saturday. Sunday is the next day above freezing.
Whoa. We're going wild.
So the nightmare is almost over. Feel good sun today, mainly dry through Sunday. There's some data that keeps it dry here for the most part all through next week. Could we be storm-free until February, which is next Saturday? It could. The really cold air is toast. Now, we have to ask Sean working the camera because he's new to all this stuff. The phrase when you beat someone or you defeat them and you go, you're toast. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
I'm going to give you the answer with Lord Cluckington.
He's going to tell you.
Hey, I looked this junk up. I didn't know either. All right. So, John, you going to pull an egg out of there? Oh, and there it is. The record low temperature today is connected to the phrase, you're toast. So you go back to 1984. It was 11 below zero today.
We got so close.
We got so close. And the big movie that year starred Dr. Venkman, Bill Murray, and he said, in the movie, no joke, he was defeating the villain, Gozer, and he was going, "You're toast."
And that's when the phrase started.
That's where the phrase started. Now, if you're saying, no, it didn't, I couldn't believe it myself. I looked up a million websites. Everyone agrees that's where it started. Could you believe it? Sean, did you know?
I did not know that.
All right. People still say today, all because, and he ad-libbed that too. That wasn't like in the script. Yeah, no, it wasn't in the script. So Bill Murray made up the phrase, "You're toast," kind of, if you want to look at it that way. All right, so what happens after the 8-ball leaves? This is the pattern Sunday. What do you think about this jet stream pattern? This is 1 week today, John.
Well, it's still bringing in cooler air, but it's nothing like what we saw.
Yeah, so the good news is with this type of pattern, this is why it's going to stay dry all next week. We're still getting a chilly northwest flow, but any storm that forms, it's going to form down here and just get fizzled out, or it's going to form down here. So
just stay away from us.
We don't get any storms with this type of pattern. Now, it's not warm, but it's not bitterly cold either. This is a lot of 30s.
Okay.
So I can handle that, right?
After this, definitely.
Yeah, that's all next week. We could stay storm-free and warming back up into the 30s. And quiet week, just a few flurries maybe Sunday and Monday. And now what we're going to do is John's going to end this segment using the Bill Murray quote. We don't know how he's going to do it, but he's going to work this in as we end the forecast. Here we go.
It's cold as toast.
That's it. I thought you'd pull off my hat or something and say, "Joe, you're toast," and push me on the side.
I let him down.
You're toast!
He's better at this.